For a little context, just share your current score, your goal score, and when you're taking the LSAT.
Okay, my current score is like 153, 154. And well, my ideal score is like in the 170s or 168s, hopefully 170s. And I'm taking it in November.
November. Okay, awesome. And what's your biggest challenge or pain point that you're experiencing right now?
Reading comp.
Reading comp. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to reading comp, a lot of students have trouble with note taking, highlighting, all that good stuff. What's your current approach like there?
I try not to highlight everything, but I do try to write down each, like, the main, I guess, conclusion or the main thing that each paragraph like wants me to grasp. But at the same time, I feel like writing it down on the test day is not going to help me because sometimes I write a lot down. So I'm trying to like manage how it like best works for me. Because sometimes highlighting, what if I highlight the wrong thing and then it's like I go back to it, but then it's like not what I wanted. So I'm just trying to like figure that out.
That's exactly the issue, right? Because it's time consuming to write things down. It takes time to make your notes. It takes time to look back at your notes later. Now, how long are you spending allocating your time between the passage text and the questions?
Right now I'm not doing it timed. And I haven't timed myself, but I do sometimes, like with scientific paragraphs, I take like forever because I can't manage to like let go of something I don't understand. So I have to like read it and reread it all over again.
Got it. So you know that it's taking you longer than it should, but you're not timing yourself strictly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, because your LSAT is only a month and a half away, you're taking it in November. Like a lot of folks who are joining the live stream are also taking November, right? And so you got to think about transitioning from untimed to timed so that you can get a real world sense of what's going to work for you on test day, right? Because it's not enough to get the questions right. You got to get them right under test day conditions, considering the pacing, time management, how you allocate your time over the course of the section. So my first thought is let's get you into the real world conditions under which you'll actually be taking the LSAT. And
Okay.
then you can make a more informed decision about what approach is going to work best. And you know that what you're currently doing isn't working that well. I'll say for context that the students who do the best on reading comp tend to mark very little or possibly not even at all because it takes time to write, it takes time to read.
Yeah.
So do you think that you could start introducing timed reading comp sections on a regular basis, maybe at least a couple a week?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and have
Definitely.
you been taking full-length practice tests as well?
Not strictly, but I'm starting this week. I'm trying to
Okay,
do at least like two, since
two
I'm
a
not
week.
working. Yeah. Um, but I mean, that's the goal.
Okay, and when are you taking those two?
On Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so that's 2 consecutive days.
Yeah.
How does the Sunday exam feel after having just done one on Saturday?
I mean, I'm trying to manage my time and try to do them early in the morning so I have the rest of the day to just do whatever I have. And then Sunday, um, just because I don't know if I should do it like a weekday, and then there's so much like people around me and it's like I can't concentrate. So Saturday it's like everyone leaves and I'm just like alone. So I
So it
don't know
sounds
if
like the
that's
Saturday exam is a better one.
yeah.
On test day, will you also be able to are you taking it from home on the test day itself, do you think?
No, I'm going to center.
Okay, good. So you won't have the distractions of people
Yeah.
around you. That's good. I mean, generally speaking, I tend to recommend against taking timed exams on consecutive days
Okay.
because it can lead to burnout. It's pretty exhausting to
Yeah.
do a full test in general, let alone do another one the following day. And then
Mhm.
my other question is, when are you able to review the Saturday exam?
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe you want to take that exam on Saturday since the home environment's pretty quiet,
Hmm.
and then you review it on Sunday.
Hmm.
And if you could only do one exam a week, maybe that's all you can do.
Okay.
And then maybe the other days over the course of the week, if you don't have time to do a full sitting, maybe you can do couple of individual sections, do you think that you could carve out, say, an hour and 10 minutes to do 2 timed sections back to back?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
actually what I've been doing, like 1 or 2, and then I just review them because it takes a long time to, like, review them and write them down, and I'm doing everything. So it's like it takes, like, a good hour for me to just be like, "Okay, so I'm doing this one untimed, and then I'm reviewing it, and then I'm doing this one timed, and then I'm reviewing it." So it does take time. So I'm doing, like, 2, actually. I'm not doing, like, 4, but I'm doing 2
Okay.
each day.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, listen, you work with what you've got. As long as you can get at least one sitting a week under real world time conditions, that will allow you the opportunity to see what it's like to work out your reading comp strategy. Note taking, not taking notes, highlighting, underlining, extracting the main point, and then you'll also build up your endurance at the same time as well. We want to get to a point where you've had enough at bats or exposures under real world test day conditions so that
Mhm.
when test day rolls around, you've seen it all before. There's
Yeah,
nothing new. I mean, the typical student tends to drop possibly up to 5 to 8 points from their practice to the actual. And there are ways to mitigate that. One of the ways is to make your practice tests match the conditions of your reel. And so some folks will take 4 individual sections over the course of the week, add them together, and call it a full practice test, but that's neglecting the endurance factor, right? And so
yeah.
if you can take that one exam on Saturday, you're going to be ahead of a lot of folks. If you just do that
Okay.
over the next month and a half or so, you're getting 5, 6 exposures under your belt. And you, whatever, have you done practice tests up to this point so far? A little bit here and there?
Yeah, a little bit here and
Okay,
there,
good.
like, specific.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And then what other struggles are you facing right now with your prep to get you those next 10, 15 points?
Um, I guess just, I mean, I'm also doing LR, and the I don't know why the must be true right now, it's like killing me. Um, and I don't know why, because sometimes I have like good days, and then sometimes I have like bad days, and it's just like it's a struggle. It's a struggle to like sometimes I'm like extremely confident, and then when I don't do the way I want to do on the practice test on a section, it's like I get very frustrated, and I'm just like, oh, like, why am I struggling with this all over again, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, we got to raise your baseline. That's the biggest thing. And then within must be true, you've got different types. You've got formal logic, you've got informal logic. You have some questions
Mhm.
where they're looking through to just extract a paraphrase from the
Yeah.
stimulus and then look for that paraphrase in the choices. You have other cases where you've got a diagram conditional statements.
Hmm.
Then you also have within inference as an umbrella category, you have must be true. And you also have most strongly supported.
Hmm.
And so if are you focusing on must be true specifically here, like most strongly supported, you're good?
Yeah. Most
Okay, yeah.
strongly
So must be trues. We're looking for something that is 100% guaranteed,
supported.
leaving no ambiguity at all. So you want to gravitate towards more moderate language in the choices, more likely to have been required than more extreme language would be. And you can also drill these. I mean, inside the program, we have all the categorizations and lists that you've seen in your study plan, right? So you
Yeah.
want to take those categorizations and lists and just drill, baby, drill on those must be
Yeah.
true questions. And that's something to do over the course of the week. If you don't have time to do a full exam, or you don't even have time to do 2 sections back to back, maybe you just drill 10 to 15 must be true questions. And then, of course, you can review them using the Socratic review method. You can bring them to coaching or
Mhm.
class or whatever as well to discuss.
Yeah, that's what I have to do, because I have been drilling them. Because I know there's a list of like all the types of
Hmm.
LR. Um, but the questions, like, I've been writing the questions that I need help with, but I haven't had, I guess, the time to go to class and be like, hey, I'm like, I need to work on this, or this question's been like I can't, like, I try to talk it out as well, but it's like some of them I just can't, like, I can't grasp why I got it wrong and why the right answer is the right answer. Even if I'm like, okay, this looks like, okay, it might be, but like there's some that is just that I can't, like, very specific ones that I'm just like, okay, I need to talk this out. I need to go to class. Um, but yeah, I have to just go to class and ask.
Yeah, carve it out. Make the time, carve it out, make it a priority, block it off on your calendar if you
Mhm.
can. Let's say every week, at least one night a week or 2 nights a week, I'm going to
Mhm.
show up for class on logical reasoning. I'll send in my questions that I want to cover. We always aim to create the agenda for the classes around the needs of the students in the group. And so if you say, I want a class devoted to must be true questions, or I want to cover these specific logical reasoning questions from these exams, we can add those to the agenda and we'll cover it live. Ideally, if you can join, that's great, of course. But even if you can't join live, we'll still cover it and then send you a link to the video afterwards. And that's another way to get practice and exposure and clarity on your understanding of those particular questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, but definitely I would say the biggest recommendations for you would be full exam every week, only on Saturdays, not Sundays. Do some individual sections over the course of the week to work on your pacing. If you could do 2 sections back to back, even better. And then if you know that must be true is a particular pain point, definitely work on that as well. Prioritize that because it's one of the most common types. The 3 most common types in logical reasoning are necessary assumption, inference, and flaw. Those are the highest leverage question types because they show up the most frequently. And so must be true is one of those under the category of inference. You said you're good on most supported. We also separately have flaw questions and we also have necessary assumption. Are those areas that you struggle with as well, do you think, or are you feeling pretty good on those?
I'm feeling pretty good on those.
Okay, good. All right. So then just focus on must be trues. Focus on must be trues and pacing and endurance. Those are my biggest recommendations for you at this stage.
Okay. All right. Also.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I don't know if. Okay, so I took this test. I took it like 2 years ago, and I did like the writing section, but I just don't know, and I can't like. I'm just, I guess, blocked right now because I have like everything on top of me. So I don't know if I should do the writing section again. If it's like yearly, do you by any chance know?
Yeah, great question. So if you've done the writing sample before, you're good. If it's on record, you completed it, you don't have to do it again. You can if you would like to, but if you did it before and you feel okay about what you did, I wouldn't stress it. You know, the scored portions of the LSAT matter so much more than the unscored writing sample that I wouldn't give it any attention. And the biggest thing I would say about it, right? Yeah, you're good. I mean, the biggest thing I would say about it is that you've just got to have it on record for them to release your score. And so when folks' scores don't come back on score release day, sometimes it's because they didn't do the writing sample. And so that's the biggest concern I would have, is just to make sure that you have, for anyone out there watching this, that you have it on record, that you complete it. And if you haven't gotten your score back, that's probably why when scores come out, if you're waiting, like, where is it? But I mean, for you, I mean, you're good. You're set.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have one last question.
Yeah. I do one last question. Shoot.
Okay. What should I do, or what do you recommend when, like I say, I take, like, let's say a practice exam or a section and it's not the way I want it to be, and I just get very frustrated. Like, I'm just like, oh, like, I'm so over it. Or when I'm like, I feel like I'm burned out, or like, I don't know, what do you recommend, or what did you do? Because sometimes it's very stressful.
I hear you on that. I mean, burnout is real. We build days off into your study plan for a reason. At least 1 day off per week, ideally, just to get a refresh and a reset. So for you, that might be you're taking Sundays off. That you take your practice test Saturday, you review it, or at least review part of it same day. You take Sunday off, you pick up on Monday again with a bit more review.
Okay.
And then the other thing is to build up your endurance overall. And so maybe that means that the 6 days a week that you're studying, you're doing at least one timed section every single day to build your focus muscle, so that you can sit there for 35 minutes at a stretch and be able to maintain focus throughout. And if you're in the middle of the section and you feel like you're spiraling, like it's not going well, you can just close your eyes, you take a breath, inhale, exhale. Box breathing is great, where you just do a timed breathing exercise of a couple seconds in, a couple of seconds inhale, a couple seconds exhale, pause, as a mental reset of sorts. And then try to remember that while the LSAT as a whole is important, of course, no one particular test date will make or break you, because you can always retake. Law schools don't average multiple scores. They only take the highest. And if you're in the middle of an exam and a passage didn't go well, or a particular logical reasoning question didn't go well, that's okay. You can still get a great score missing a question here or there. And who knows, maybe the one that you had trouble with was the unscored experimental section anyway.
Okay. All right.
But keep at it, Camila. It was a pleasure to connect with you again. Keep
Thank you
showing up to
so
class, put in the work, and of course, keep in touch if you have any questions or need anything. I'm happy to help.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, my pleasure. Have a good one.
You too. Goodbye.